you might wonder, what is blast? A text blast, or often referred to as broadcast, is a type of bulk SMS messaging. It allows businesses to send the same single message in a large group of contact. Each person will receive the text, but won't see any of the group details. Text blasts is really a great way for businesses that want to send a one-off campaign and or a potential promotional message to a large group of contacts. Here are some ways that businesses can use text blasts. Now, there are really many different ways that business can use and optimize messages, but it essentially comes down to creating conversation with your users and really fully engaging them with many either existing contact or leads as possible. And at the end of the day, it comes down to sales. Sending these type of messages can help with conversions, which then create a stronger brand loyalty, which can potentially generate more orders and ultimately increase your revenue. But here are some example use case. In an alert and notifications use case, SMS blasts can be used to alert you in, for example, in an emergency situation, whether it's weather or evacuation related, where they can send a mass alert. Or it can be great for non-emergency purposes too, where you need to change the time or place, or even a cancellation or delay of an event. In a reminder instance, this is a great way to send a reminder to a large group of people for a one-time event that's coming up, whether it's a game, a concert, or even just a one-off product launch. Utilizing text blasts can be more effective than a potential auto dialer, which will save you a significant amount of time instead of making individual reminder call manually. It can also help to improve attendance and reduce no-show with text reminder, as it keeps the event top of mind for those contact lists. It can be used in surveys and polls to gather customer feedback or get more detailed feedback via survey in real time, which makes this more engaging and ensure that you can effectively make any changes necessary. You can also deploy automatic reply to maintain a high engagement rate of feedback during these type of campaigns. It can be used in promotional or sales-based event. With SMS, there's a 98% open rate. So engaging customers in more of a sales setting helps to attract potential customers and makes a complete sales order. It can also add to your marketing messages, which can drive the engagement for your promotional event. You can also use this to send coupons to drive customer into stores or to your website, depending on your format. When creating a blast message, you do want to make sure that you keep a few things in mind. You'll want to make sure that the message's content are short and to the point. People are more likely to read and respond to a shorter message and engage with those. Keep your content clear and use concise language. Avoid using jargon or technical terms that your audience might not understand. Personalize your message by using merge fields to incorporate their name, and then of course use the language that is relevant to those type of contacts. Make sure message is more actionable. Create a call to action for your customer. Tell them exactly what you want them to do. And then you want to track your results. This will help you see what's working and what's not, and be able to optimize for your business use case. And these are just some example of how you could effectively deploy blasts. And now for the main event, let's go into how to create a blast within VirtualPBX. Now, once again, VirtualPBX Pro is an add-on feature on our Pro and Premier plan. In order to see this feature, you'll need to add this to your plan. You'll need to contact our account services team and we'll enable this feature for you. Once you have access to the Blast feature, this is what it will look like within the VirtualPBX platform. To create a new blast, simply click on Send New Blast. Within this section, you'll want to be intentional about your blast name. So this can be tailored specifically to your use case. If you're using this as a reminder, you might want to tailor it to the event that you're reminding those contact lists regarding. Or if it's a sales or promotional base, it should be tailored to a one-off event, whether it's a holiday or it's just a one-time sales deal. So make sure to be more intentional. Next, you'll want to make sure to establish the status. There are 3 core status regarding Blast. You can set it as a draft where you can come back and later assign to a specific group list. You can have it sent now, where the message content will send immediately after you create the blast, or you could schedule it. Scheduling is great for a reminder event. If you know the event is upcoming, whether it's in person or a webinar or a meeting, it's great to schedule these an hour to a day before the event so that the customer can attend easily. Then you'll go into the message content. Here is where you put majority of your message content. If it's more promotional based, you want to offer some kind of discount code, which will drive the customer to make the purchase. Or if it's a reminder, you'll want to place what the event is regarding and the timing of the event. And of course, if it's alert, you'll want to make sure what you're alerting the customer to. You'll be able to add an attachment, whether it's a QR code or a coupon discount associated here. Simply click on attach. And then of course, you're going to incorporate merge field, which are custom fields that are saved on the contact list, where you can add in the customer personal details such as first and last name, or any additional details that might be more relevant to that individual contact that's already saved in your contact list. The next section is all about compliance. Because Blast is a marketing-based feature, there are some compliance in place. You'll need to incorporate details that makes it easy for customers to opt out of your message content if they no longer wish, or if they change their mind regarding signing for the list. So the standard message that we display here is reply stop to unsubscribe. You of course change the content, but overall any of these keywords, stop and cancel, quit, or unsubscribe, can be used for a customer to opt out from receiving additional message content. And in order for them to opt back in, they would need to reply with the word start to re-engage with your account again. Once you've applied those details, then you'll want to go to the select contact. Here, this is where you've already created your different contact list, whether it's existing customer, new customers, or a lead list, or depending on what it's related to, you'll want to create that contact list first and then apply it here. If you're saving the blast as a draft, you do not need to apply a list currently and then come back and apply it later on. Once you've completed that, simply save the blast. For all the draft blasts, it will display here, as you can see, and the name is associated to the different type of events or different type of announcements and use case. For any scheduled blasts that you have here, they're already displayed and the timing of when it will be sent out. In progress are associated to blasts that are teed up to be sent out shortly. And then of course in sent are the ones that have already been sent out. This is a good way for you to track each segment of your blast list and be able to utilize it based off of your particular business use case. And that is the feature of business texting blasts. If you have any questions at this time, please post them in the live chat and I will address them in a moment. Okay. Can I use virtual text to send group text? So with the blast feature, you would create a contact list. Within our contact list, there isn't a set number of contact you can apply to a list. So you can expand it to as many as you would like and as little as 2. Something to keep in mind with those lists, you do need to follow up with the compliance part of it as well, because it is the marketing feature and you are applying it to a list. The customers that are currently in the list must have consented to receive additional messages from you. Can I send an SMS broadcast to anyone? Again, that goes back to the compliance piece. You can, of course, send messages to anyone that's on your list as long as they have consented through receiving those messages. And the consent can be through a order form or a sign-up list that's listed on your website, or even a physical form, but it does need the potential customer or existing customer consent in order for you to send these type of messaging. There are compliance issue if you don't comply by making sure that the customer have already consented. So make sure to follow up on those laws. We've done other webinars where we cover the compliance as well as opt-in process, which we can share in our follow-up email to you. Do I need to include a SMS opt-out? So that's already tailored into the blast, as you can see in the demo walkthrough. We built in the stop to unsubscribe. You can, of course, customize it, but make sure to include the keywords so that the customer has a clear indicator on if they need to opt out. They can just text using that particular keyword and they won't receive additional messages. What is the best time to send messages? So for most instances, there's what it's called a reasonable hours. Reasonable hours are anytime between 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. within their time zones. So keep that in mind as you're sending out messages, whether it's reminders or promotional base. If you have information that are related to those customer time zones, to tailor it to them specifically. What are the legal requirements for sending blasts? Because blasts is a marketing-based feature, anytime you send out a large blast or any blast to customers, you always want to make sure that you're in compliance. Typically for our customers that have this feature, they've completed the SMS registration process, so they're approved to send messages to a customer. And then the other side of it is, of course, the opt-in process. Because we don't manage your opt-in for you, you are responsible for ensuring that those that you are sending message content to in regards to whether it's blast or campaign or any of these marketing-based feature and engagement with customer, they have already opted in to receiving additional messages for you. And in many instances, you want to keep a record of those consents so that if you ever need to provide proof, you'll have those details as well. Let's see. Well, if there is no additional question, I want to thank everyone for attending this webinar, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And of course, if you have additional questions later on, feel free to give us a call at our toll-free number or email us at accountservices@virtualpbx.com. Have a wonderful day.